Hi guys, welcome to Wednesday, May 6th, Irony 11. Getting close to the end of our ironing unit. We could have finished it all and squished it into this week, but I was trying to break it up with a couple of other things on Monday and Friday, and just to give us a little bit of variance so it's not so, feeling monotonous or boring. At this point, you should have done your warm-up. If not, pause me, go back and try it for reals. Just to get that practice in on your affixes so your vocabulary is strong going into high school. If you need help with that, please come to office hours. Please email me, text me, whatever, so I can make sure that that is effective practice for you. Aim for today, Kipsters will be able to identify different types of irony based on the text. Notes are pretty straightforward. Like usual, irony is the difference between what someone would expect to happen and what actually does happen. 3 types: situational, verbal, dramatic. Situational is when a person's efforts produce the opposite of what they expect, kind of like when a robber robs a police station. Police theoretically try and prevent that kind of thing, and so their efforts are producing the opposite when they get robbed. Verbal, contrast between what's being said and what actually is meant. This requires for dialogue to happen. Now, I've been seeing us all make this mistake. When it's verbal irony, we say it's verbal, and then when you're asked to explain, you say, oh, because they're being dramatic. Usually when they're being sarcastic, like, oh, my mom is gonna love this when they get an F, right? The answer is not that they're being dramatic. The answer is that they're being sarcastic, that they're exaggerating, or that they're downplaying, like when LeBron James is like, in his big house, like, yeah, it's tiny, but we make it work. He's downplaying the size of his house there. Verbal irony is having to do with when they're speaking and they're saying the opposite of what they mean. Be it Regina George saying, oh, I love your skirt, when she thinks it's really ugly. Be it LeBron James saying his house is tiny, or he doesn't have that many championships when he really does. Or when you're saying sarcastically, like, oh, my mom is going to love this grade when you got an F. All of those are verbal irony. Dramatic irony is when you, the watcher, the reader, knows something that the other characters do not, and that you have information that they do not. Now, if they're acting dramatically, the character is saying something dramatic, like, oh my God, that sounds so terrible, when it's not, it's still verbal irony, even though their statement could be described as like they're acting dramatically, okay? So don't get that mixed up. Pause right here, complete your check for understanding. Rewind this video 2 minutes if you need to, so that you can get my notes again while you're working on it, or read them up, above, below, wherever they are. I'll just pause. Sorry, that's the noise. That's my waiting song. Now we're on the example. Mr. Bath is the president of Make a Bath Industries, a small company that employs 15 workers, including Tom Miller, father of 6. Ever since the economy went down the tubes, Make a Bath hasn't been selling bathtubs like they once did. And now Mr. Bath has to fire 3 workers, one of whom will be Tom Miller. But Mr. Bath has never fired anyone before, so he has been delaying giving Tom and the other employees the bad news. But Christmas is approaching. Tom wants to buy nice gifts for his 6 children, but he doesn't have any money. So Tom charges the whole bunch of nice gifts on his credit card, thinking that he can pay it back with money from his checks that he will be getting from his job all year. Tom and his family don't have a lot of extra money to spend, so he likes to get his kids nice Christmas presents. Tom is looking forward to one of the best Christmases ever. It's actually really sad. What statement best describes the irony? A, Tom likes to spoil his kids because they deserve nice things. B, Tom and his other co-workers are getting Mr. Bath something nice for Christmas. That would be even more ironic, but that isn't true. It's not happening. It wasn't talked about. C, Tom hates his boss, but says the opposite. That's contradictory. Nothing like that is said in the text. D, Tom just spent money on his credit card, not knowing that he will be fired soon. So we eliminated B and C right off the bat. So we're left with A and D. Tom likes to spoil his kids because they deserve nice things. I mean, I could probably make that inference that he likes to get them nice things for Christmas because they deserve it, but it also doesn't say that. Also, nothing about that statement is like the opposite of what you would expect. Like, a lot of parents choose to spoil their kids at like different events and holidays because they feel like they deserve it. That's something I would reasonably expect. So we're left with D. He just spent money on his credit card, not knowing that he'll be fired soon. So he'll have to pay that credit card, but he'll have no job. That's opposite of what we would expect. And we know that he's going to be fired, but he doesn't know that. So answer is D. And then part B, what type of irony is the situation? Dramatic, verbal, or situational? We know as the reader, as the audience, that he's about to be fired. Mr. Bath is planning that, but Tom does not know that. There's actually no dialogue, so we can eliminate verbal right off the bat. And so we're left with dramatic or situational. We know that he's going to be fired. He does not. Therefore, it is dramatic irony. Make sure you select D for part A and A for part B. Now it's your turn. There are 3 more paragraphs and a video. This one's from Frozen. And make sure that you explain the part B part on that really well. This is a little different than yesterday where part B had a multiple choice for you. This one is a short answer. Make sure this one is worth 3 points where questions are normally worth 1, that you give a good explanation of what is ironic or not ironic about it, because your answer choices are the 3 types of irony or there is no irony. You can't just say because it's not irony. You can't just say because it's verbal, because it's situational, because it's dramatic. You need to be really clear. It is dramatic irony because it is situational irony, because it's verbal irony, because it is not ironic, because reference the notes about what makes something those different types of irony or what makes something ironic altogether to prove your point so you can get those easy 3 points. Okay. As always, call me, beat me. If you want to reach me, if you need anything, complete your Lexia, come to office hours, get your extra credit. Oh, and then here's the bonus. If you've watched the video this far, text me that you watched my video this far, and I will give you 2 extra credit points on the assignment. That can be the difference between being at Mastery or not, being on the Mastery post tomorrow or not. 224-523-6693. If you need my number, text me, call me, beat me, text me if you want to reach me and get your extra credit. Okay, great. Have a great day. Bye, guys.